Now we are asked to write a function in order to find all the duplicates in the list. Okay, so write a function to find all duplicates in a list. Okay, so let us suppose you have a list of elements. Okay, for example 1 2 3 3 4. So which element is basically a duplicate element? Okay, or you just need to judge whether the elements have duplicates or not. Okay, so let us suppose I'll give you an example quickly here. List 1 is equal to some elements like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Now when I ask for duplicates for this particular list, it has to return false. There are no duplicates in this particular list. Suppose if I modify this list to 3 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 like this, then there is duplicate inside this list, right? So you just need to identify whether there are duplicates inside the list or not. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we'll write a separate function. Okay, check duplicates, so that this is going to check whether there exists a duplicates inside the list or not. Okay, so I'll take a sample list 1 like this, which does not contain any duplicates like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 10 comma 7 comma 9 comma 5. Okay, this doesn't have any duplicates, right? And I'll call this function, okay, check duplicates function, and I'll pass list1 as parameter to this function. Okay, now let us define this function check duplicates function. Okay, list1. Okay, now we need to iterate through each and every element from the list and identify whether there exists duplicate elements inside this list or not. Okay, so for this purpose I'll take initially a flag variable which is equal to 0. Okay, so I'll take each element inside the list 1. Okay, and I'll check whether how many occurrence of this element is there by with the help of count function that I can apply on the list. Okay, so every time I'll get a counter, okay, is equal to list1 corresponding count I'm obtaining here for that particular element. Okay, so the moment you identify the counter value is greater than 1, it means there are duplicates, right? Okay, so I'll check like this. If counter is greater than 1, immediately I'll modify the flag value. Okay, flag is equal to 1, and I'll break this loop because I'm able to find that element is repeated, that is there are duplicate elements inside the list. Okay, so now we can check with the help of if condition here. If the flag value is modified to 1, okay, so in that case you can print here okay, there are duplicates in the list. Okay, suppose the flag value is not modified to 1, which means flag value is still 0. It represents none of the elements have got counter greater than 1, which means no element is repeated more than one time. So in that context you can display another print statement here saying there are no duplicate elements. Okay, there are no duplicates in the list. This is how you can display. Okay, now let us basically consider this code and run this code. Okay, as you know, there are no duplicates inside this list. It has to display there are no duplicates in the list. So yes, you can see the result, there are no duplicates inside the list, isn't it? Okay, suppose if I modify this particular list. Okay, let us suppose I'm taking 2 here and again I'm adding 2 here. Okay, now 2 is repeated 2 times, which means there are duplicates inside this list. So let us run this code right now, and you can see there are duplicates in the list because the same element 2 is there for 2 times, isn't it? So this is how you can check whether there are duplicates inside the list or not. And suppose if they ask you to display the duplicate elements, okay, so then the idea is whenever you find counter greater than 1, you start displaying that particular element. Okay, so element you can display. Clear? So let's run this. You can see 2 is basically repeated. Okay, and it is identifying here and here. Suppose if I want to display that 2 only one time, okay, counter is greater than 1, so you can start appending that inside another list, an empty list. Like consider list 2 is equal to, which is an empty list, and you will start appending that element to list 2 dot append function, and that element can be appended. Okay, so now I'll add a condition here, and element not in list 2. Then I'm adding that or appending that element to the list 2, and finally once this for loop is over, I can print that particular list 2. Okay, so you can see list 2. Okay, only one element that is going to be repeated, okay, for 2 times here, isn't it? So this is how we can work with duplicates.